Fairfax, Oklahoma. Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen, the 400,000+ pound C-17. Watch for the nose to raise. In less than 2,000 feet, this giant aircraft will be off the ground. Ready, and rotate. Impressive departure, don't you think? He's going to be joining up with that AC-47 Spooky out there, ladies and gentlemen, for the cargo flight. We're going to make the AC-47. We're going to talk a little bit about cargo. There's the pole. C-47 going to orbit while the big C-17 sets up. C-47, AC-47 setting up for landing out there. You can see the landing gear down while the big C-17 also extends its landing gear out there. As our AC-47 touches down, you can see the big C-17 flying right alongside of it. Yesterday's cargo and today's. Our crew flying the C-17 today has in excess of 20,000 hours flying various aircraft, including the C-5 Galaxy, the C-141 Starlifter, the T-38 Talon, and the T-37 Tweet. C-17's first pass today is going to be a high-speed pass. They're executing a teardrop maneuver that's also very environmentally friendly with respect to noise. So as they've got the flaps, the gear up, the flaps are retracted, leading edge slats stowed, and we're ready for the high-speed pass of the C-17. "300 miles an hour, and just listen to the quiet." Look at the performance and the ability of that airplane. It provides direct delivery capability that combines the intercontinental cargo carrying capabilities of large aircraft such as the C-5 with the short runway capability of the much smaller C-130 Hercules. It can routinely land in runways that are only 3,000 feet long. 4 Pratt & Whitney F-117 engines power this big airplane. Those are the same engines used on the commercially available Boeing 757. Each one of those engines develops 40,000 pounds of thrust. And this amount of thrust allows the Globemaster 3 to carry over 170,000 pounds of cargo. The range of the aircraft with that amount of cargo is 2,400 nautical miles. However, the C-17 can go any place in the world because it has in-flight refueling capability. It doesn't have to stop anywhere. I want you to watch now as they approach. Look at the front edge of the wing leading edge slats. They'll be displayed, as well as the power lift flaps on the trailing edge of the wing. These two devices change the shape of the wing, enabling this aircraft to land and take off in the short distances that you're experiencing here today. At show center, they'll fly full power and perform a go-around maneuver using maximum power, demonstrating its ability to depart an airport very rapidly if they should get into some kind of trouble from ground forces. You can see those big power lift flaps deployed on the rear section of the wing. And the leading edge slats. At show center, listen for the power to come up. You'll see the flaps retract, the slats retract, and the landing gear being stowed back in the body of the aircraft. Demonstrate its ability to leave the airport when necessary. Now we're going to set up and show you the ability for the C-17 to fly at slow speeds and to demonstrate its advanced aerodynamics in action. Out there performing a series of steep banks to maneuver for a low speed pass and then a circle over the airport. Very, very tight circle. 360-degree turn, and it'll be executed inside the airport boundary. In case you're wondering how big it is, the wingspan, that's from one tip to the other, is half the length of a football field. The tail is over 5 stories tall. It even has a tunnel that you can crawl up in there. Empty, it weighs about 280,000 pounds, but maximum fuel and cargo weighs close to 500,000 pounds. Notice the upturn into the wings. Show you how big this is. Those are 9 feet tall, those winglets. All right, here we go. Aircraft is extremely agile at both high and low speeds, making it easy to operate in any tactical situation, including the combat delivery capability of paratroopers or heavy equipment. C-17 uses a quadruple redundant fly-by-wire system to run its flight controls. That means that the aircraft's flight controls are electronically operated by inputs from the cockpit. There are 4 separate flight control computers, each of which can manage the entire system by itself. The computers continuously monitor the flight controls and each other, and if there's any problems, they automatically work around the disabled system. In addition to these features, with all of that computer power, they even have a mechanical backup system. Big airplane, very agile. Landing gear comes down. They're going to set up to demonstrate a full flap approach to a simulated short field runway. The short field capability allows the C-17 Globemaster 3 to land at over 6,000 more airfields worldwide that are currently available to the C-5 Galaxy and other commercial wide-body aircraft. In fact, during the NATO peacekeeping mission to Bosnia, the C-17 crews airlifted nearly right back, displaying the Cascade thrust reversers. That directs the thrust of the jets forward instead of rearward and helps to slow the aircraft. Okay, here comes the random steep approach. And then you're not going to be able to hear me talk after he lands. I just want you to watch what he does after he gets stopped. Here we go, random steep and the short field landing capability of the big C-17 Globemaster 3. Here we go. Spoilers on top are up. Look at the engine sliding back. Brakes are on. Now thrust reversers. The ability to back up. Hey, 1,000 feet. He touched down and got that stopped in 1,000 feet. How about a nice round of applause for the C-17?